El proyecto educativo La Revolución de la Silueta ha llevado a 6 escuelas internacionales de renombre a que conozcan la colección del museo, el legado de Cristóbal Balenciaga, y utilizar este como recurso o fuente de nueva creación.
Coming here, hearing historians and curators talk about the background and the heritage and the technical, I haven't done the workshop yet, but hearing how that's done, it's so important.
It's very nice to see, compared to nowadays, I think, especially for designers, how he also played with beauty and how much he cared about the woman itself and was not thinking as a selfish designer, was putting himself as bit in the shoes of the women.
Uno de los principales objetivos del proyecto ha sido precisamente dar a conocer el conocimiento, los valores, la técnica y el legado creativo de Cristóbal Balenciaga a una nueva generación de diseñadores.
Learn from Cristóbal, learn his deepest meanings and why he did what he did, and pay respect to him. So I'd like to do him great justice in whatever I create.
Like the fluid quality of fabrics and how to combine it with the movement of the body, and also the space between it, which is quite innovative at the time.
Las dos siguientes fases consistirán en la realización de ese trabajo individual, de ese proyecto individual de cada alumno.
I'm going to bring in some of his techniques and the things I've learnt today in the museum. I'm going to bring it in to develop my work.
I'm really looking forward to explore how women at the age moved, and then looking at women today and how we move and how can we make garments that relate to our body language today.
Para finalmente hacer una selección final y que sean representados o presentados al público en una exposición que tendrá lugar en el museo a partir de mayo de 2018.
The results are amazing. When I first walked into the room yesterday, I was very touched, I was extremely moved, just to see the quality of the work. Because obviously, I've seen all the students' work, but to see it finally from real, it was really, really impressive.
Hoy se ha presentado una selección de los trabajos que han realizado los alumnos implicados en este proyecto, concretamente 26 de los 150 que se han generado en el marco del proyecto.
When we came here in January on our research trip to the museum, I think it was really important for me to see how Balenciaga worked from both sides, like he worked from the outside and the inside of the garment to really help and support the body of the wearer and think about the body much more.
It was very important for them to approach the research. Then the development started because now they understood who they had to keep in mind when developing and when designing, and some of them would start on a toile and then would just turn it and change it completely, you know.
So I came to the museum for 2 visits actually. One I came on my own, and then I came with the other professors, and we got the chance to see by Igor the garments, and we got such a detailed explanation of every part of inside and outside and techniques, which was extraordinary.
La exposición así presenta un diálogo entre el legado de Cristóbal Balenciaga, las lecturas del profesorado implicado en los procesos de transmisión y los propios trabajos que han creado los alumnos.
They reacted very well, and they worked really, really hard and stayed super motivated. I think for the students that were chosen to participate in this exhibition, I think they just today realized the honor and kind of the scope of this thing, to be honest.
I explained the student what I saw in this museum. You know, it's not only the surface of the garment, but it's kind of the inside, the structure of the garment. So students understand the structure and how to create the shapes. And then it's the time to the student. Students push their idea with their own way, which collaborate with the Balenciaga way.
Yeah, when I started my work with Balenciaga, I looked most at the garments that made you change your posture. These outfits that are slim in the front and voluminous in the back made you look like you're leaning back. And I think that's really interesting, how garments can change your behavior in a way.
The students were able to review some of the work internally and to see how the construction was executed and the cutting methods that Balenciaga used. I also shared the 3D patterns, and the students became more inquisitive about, you know, how the garments were made, and maybe things that escaped them. They were very interested in finding out how.
I think it's an incredible opportunity. There's not that many museums who offer such a close look to the pieces in the archives, and the Balenciaga Museum is so accessible for all of us, and it's been extremely helpful. So that's something that we all are seeking to do again, for sure.